Chasing the Nightmare! Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening for whenever you view this podcast. With me, I have Jeremy A. Freed and Mr. L. Sky and Andrew. Pleasure to have you guys here.
Hello.
Working with me in the Fountain Pens Productions. If you guys would love to introduce yourselves.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Jeremy. I'm been on most of the episodes so far. Voice actor here for Fountain's Pen. Can't remember how long I've been with the studio, but it's been a while. I think it's been close to a year. Done some voices on the on some of the shorts. Done some editing, audio editing, video editing, and editing on the podcast episodes. So pretty much what I've been doing.
The editor, man. The editor. And Mr. L?
Yeah, I'm Mr. L. I've been part of Fountain's Pen Productions since I think June of 2023. I'm an animator and designer. I've done some mini animation work on multiple projects, some design works. Did some character designs here and there. Did some promo art materials and thumbnail materials. And yeah, I'm just still part of the FPP stuff and continue to do more animation and design stuff as I continue here. Yep.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't really gotten to work much with Jeremy, but I've definitely worked with you a lot, Mr. L. I mean, currently as of late. We've worked on Petty Avenger, and I believe we touched a bit on Battle Beetle as well.
I don't think I've actually a part of Battle Beetle, but we definitely worked together on upcoming project Petty Avenger, which very much appreciate your contribution, of course, because I'm more of a visual kind of guy, so it's nice to you definitely have more knowledgeable about audio than I do.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Sky, you want to go first?
Sure, thank you. My name is Sky. I'm one of the directors here in Fountain's Pen for the podcast. And I'm also a storyboard artist. It's very good to be here.
I'm Andrew Bacarle. I'm one of the storyboard artists at Fountain's Pen Productions. I've worked on Go to the Movies, My Underdog Story, and Petty Avenger. Happy to be here.
Pleasure to have you guys here. So, I was just asking you guys, like going down the row here for me, just experience how you got into certain things, like for like voice acting for Jeremy, Andrew Bacarle for being a cartoonist, animator, 2D, Mr. L being a filmmaker and 2D animator, and along with that, Sky being a director, storyboard artist, the whole 9 yards. I'll just start off with Jeremy. So you are a voice actor. How long have you been in the voice acting game?
I've been dabbling for probably 7 years now. I haven't gotten into my claim to fame. I was the original voice for a channel called The Amagi, which reviews. Now they review anime. Back then, it was all basically took articles from the Avatar: The Last Airbender wiki and read them and put video to them. So that's kind of how it started, and I actually have the silver play button from that channel. Yeah, but then he got into anime, and he had a particular video. He hired more voice actors, and he had a particular video that just really took off. It just went viral. And I don't know a lot of anime, and I had a horrible time pronouncing the names and everything. And so I just didn't have the time to invest in it. So I kind of got handed over the reins to this other guy, and he's pretty recognizable now. They're into the millions of subscribers now.
Okay.
But getting into Fountain's Pen, there's an animator with the studio. Peter, he goes by Pantastique. He produced his own pilot for his IP that he's working on, Swift Spark, and got on as a voice actor with him. I don't even remember how I got introduced to him, but got on with as a voice actor there, and And then he pointed me to an audition with FPP. And so I auditioned for that and then auditioned for another thing. And before you know it, yeah, I'm here.
I guess you could say like situations are similar. I wouldn't say with being a part of a YouTube channel that got so much popularity from videos. I mean, yeah, I guess I can say I've had when I posted a YouTube video and I was just like, "Oh, why not put it out there?" And then instantly like gains traction overnight and you're like, "What happened? Who did this to me?" You know, this is not normal. This is not what I expect. But
yeah,
I can get that along with going into working with FPP. I just was on the website Casting Call Club. Shout out to them. That's how I get most of my work. I saw that there was a opening for a character in a Nightmare Hunters, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. This is just in my alley." So I auditioned for that, got the part, and then the snowball kind of kept rolling down the hill here. Then I became a voice director. Then I started working with the scratch tracks. I worked on Battle Buell scratch track, and I just finished. I need to add some touches to the Petty Avenger scratch track. So I guess you could say I've kind of been in the mix of everything, but still fun.
Yep.
But I also want to jump to Mr. L here, specifically for just 2D animations. Sometimes the things that I see you post in the server specifically is so smooth, and I'm wondering like, what's the process? How long does it take for you to go for like each frame, and how like you make it seem like the animation just flows so quickly like water?
Well, usually for each project, I usually like spend like because I'm attached to multiple projects, not just inside FPP, but also like outside. And I try to spend like at least an hour or 30 minutes on each project, and I've realized like it takes less time for like more simpler character designs and more time for like more complex character designs for sure. But like most of the time I get like 4 frames per hour. I think like some of the things that helped me like because I've been doing like animation for like a long time. Some of the things I've learned over the years of one is something I learned from the animation, Richard Williams like animation survival kit, like DVDs that I watched during college. Like animators, especially like at Disney, would sometimes mix like twos, which is like one drawing for every other frame, and then ones, um, which is like a drawing for every frame, and kind of like find a way of mixing that in. Usually, it's like on more faster motion, or like sometimes I do it in the middle of like certain motions. Like just kind of like mixing the two, which is why there's like kind of like I guess that could explain like some of the smoothness here and there, but also like another thing that I've also been learning is to have like movements based in an arc, and this is another kind of like thing that I've learned about from other animators. When you try everything is like has like a flow to it, like if that's like fallen arc. It's not just like I don't know if this is the best way of explaining it, but
No.
It's like it is like
what I was gonna say, like with you explaining and going into detail. I mean, that sounds like that involves a lot of experience, and I mean, like you said, you've been in the animating field for quite a long time. Sometimes I can't even begin to fathom like how can someone imagine this certain line goes this way and then make it come out so well. But you kind of explaining how it goes through, and you said you've gotten tips and you've also learned or spoke to other animators how things should go. So kind of just learn the ropes, and like not necessarily other people passing the torch, but they definitely give you the notes to learn, and if that not copy from, but get the right idea.
Yeah, it's it also like definitely it helps to like learn from different kind of animators like but also like practicing it, does really help. And especially like, like when I was really starting to like improve, like practice more animation, I had like app on my phone to like with
Mhm.
like this animation app that I've had, and it's like it's actually like just creating stuff whenever just
It's
and I was just like doing like
flip a clip. No,
yeah,
I'm kidding.
yeah, it's just like yeah, just I just been practicing some stuff like it's like these rough stuff here and there, but it's like it's an easy way of like finding a way to like practice for really jumping into like especially with like
Right,
more expensive like equipment and softwares.
right. Just to get the ball rolling. I get it. I do want to move on to this guy. Big questions for you so far, such as being a director, storyboard artist, brand development supervisor for Fountain's Pen
I've been here a
Productions.
lot.
Yeah, you are in quite a few things actually. I do want to get into that part specifically. So, like being a storyboard artist itself, how did that all come to be? Where did like do you have an experience prior before joining the production team, or did you
I,
kind of just
hmm.
say I'm gonna wing it?
To be honest, the only experience I had when joining Fountain's Pen was some freelance things.
Mm,
I did not have any prior experience because I was just out of an internship I have as a game artist
mm,
for concept design mainly. I had not touched storyboard a lot other than a few fun animatics I was doing on my YouTube channel, which honestly is better if we all forget what ever happened.
right.
I'm
So,
I'm joking. Everyone has a journey.
of course. I mean, you really don't learn anything unless you bump into a few forks or crossroads on your way, right? Everybody has their
Yeah,
own reason
absolutely.
to have the experience that they have currently.
Absolutely. And fan
Um,
art was my way of actually getting better, so I would never bash it. Never in
oh
my
yeah,
life.
It's that quote from Adventure Time. It's how's it go? Sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at
Mm,
something.
yes,
right.
exactly.
Yep.
Oh god, I love that one.
I also have another question for you, Sky. Brand development supervisor. How did you land that?
Honestly, I have no clue how that happened. Back when I came to the studio here, I was doing a lot of things. Like you cannot imagine in how many projects I was trying to get myself into. I was and still am very passionate about so many of the projects here. And back then I didn't have a full-time job, so I had more time to spend and take care of things. And at some point, I really started getting into some promotional work, especially Petty Avenger, and that was just because, um, not to spoil anything, but let's just say I really enjoyed making fan art of this one pilot, and just starting like getting around to looking a bit more into what's going on in the promotional department of everything. And before I knew it, Target sent me a message. I don't remember if it was in a meeting or something. And he told me, "Hey, would you like to start helping out with this one?" And I'm very bad at saying no.
So
I'm
that's
so
how
like,
you landed the part. You just couldn't say no. No, it's fine.
I genuinely really enjoy working on so many things in the studio because I just love everyone here. It's
Yeah.
so enjoyable to spend time with so many passionate people and seeing all of their work. And it makes me want to get better as well. It makes me want to improve, to be like them. I
Right.
genuinely think I'm working with some of the most talented people all around the world.
Oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the same way when working with you because I mean I've seen some of your work as well. It is outstanding.
Oh
Um,
my gosh, thank
but
you.
I know of course, and I do want to point out that in the server we pick up weight. We help the
Mm,
gears turn. We get some more work for ourselves, and then have the ball rolling. and then
Yeah.
helps us proceed with putting out more product for the people to view and to consume, so and get our name out there.
Absolutely.
So it's
Yeah, I
awesome.
wish I had more time to spend, like back a year ago, when I was doing so many things. I still want to get to that track again, but it feels like, lack of energy, some health issues, everything keeps coming the way. But I do want to, to attempt to become better at that again.
Of course. Now, going on forward with Andrew. Now, I see that just like in your bio first thing that you are a cartoonist, and I just kind of want to get into the rabbit hole of that. When did that first come to be? Did you just like when you were younger, you were like, and you saw, I don't know, Ren and Stimpy or Cat Dog on the cartoon, and you're like, man, I think I could do this? And, or did it just kind of like develop into a later thing as you got older?
Okay, so first off, I just want to say I almost forgot to say that. Well, actually, I did forget. I also worked on Doom Worm Sign. I'm not sure why I spaced on that, but back to the question. That's basically how it started for me. Like, growing up, I loved Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite pastimes was like getting up every Saturday morning to see what was on Cartoon Network. It wasn't necessarily Ren and Stimpy. It was mostly shows like Ed, Edd and Eddy, which is one of my all-time favorites.
Oh yeah,
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Codename Kids Next Door.
banger after banger after banger.
Yeah, yes. Cow and Chicken and Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah.
That, and also growing up on the Disney classics like The Lion King and Toy Story and The Incredibles. Also DreamWorks classics like Over the Hedge and Shrek. Yeah, it was those films that kind of like lit the spark in me. Animation is actually really cool, and I kind of want to do this. Watching behind the scenes features and seeing actors in recording booths, and also seeing animators working on characters.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I realized that animation was made by people.
Gotcha. For me, I guess I could say it the same way for voice acting. I would hear, all these random voices on the cartoon, and I'm like, you know what? I think I could do that. I also got obsessed with sound effects as well when I was younger. I'm like, what is that sound called? Can I replicate it? And as I got older, I was like, kind of understanding the process of how cartoons were made, sound effects wise, voice actor wise, and sometimes you'd always see the behind the scenes part for, let's say, you'd see some for like the Boondocks, or how wild the cartoon Chowder was. They had an episode specifically where they had run out of budget, so they showed the actual voice actors sitting in the booth with each other. and then they actually did all the same voices. I'm like, wait a minute, you don't look like them at all. And that's when like my reality broke. I'm like, oh my god, these are real people.
Yeah, I don't know when I realized that. I mean, I had to know that there were people talking in there. I don't know when I realized that, okay, those are actual people and it is their job to make these voices. And then I started looking in the credits and, recognizing names and things. And yeah.
Here's the thing that I always think about when I work with voice acting, game design, or other people who animate. Voice acting and that type of artwork go hand in hand, because you need the voice to express how the actual cartoon would react. And you would need, or sometimes it can be vice versa, like you need the artwork and you need to see what this character would look like. So then you can kind of get the feel, the idea, the concept of what that person would sound like. So if you see like some character that wears a big top hat, monocle, and a big cloak with white gloves, you would say, he'd think you sound like, oh, I do think I'm going to go rather to gamble all my money away. And just something simple like that. I feel like imagination is such a big role when it comes to both works.
Especially like one of the interesting things about like I think about animation is that when it comes to like characters, it's like there's like two kinds of like actors to help with an anime character. There's of course the voice actor, and then there's also like the animators as well. It's like and both of them working hand in hand and to help give these characters life. And I think that's a very interesting like thing about that I find about animation, especially like in a production like stuff like Disney, like they would even like have like an animator or like a or a teams of certain teams of animators to like focus on like one character and give the characters like their own like unique movements from each other or something like that, which I just find that very interesting.
That was my interest in James Baxter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea before then that he was the animator behind some of the most iconic characters.
Mm-hmm. James Baxter, of course, legendary man.
Yeah.
I think he also voice acted the horse as well, right? If I'm not wrong. I'm too scared to look it up and be wrong, but I'm also too prideful to just go like on my answer. So I'm just gonna keep. We'll just leave it to the unknown. But
I mean, so
I'm afraid if I try to look it up, I'll accidentally hang up on the podcast. So.
oh, no, you're fine.
I know that
We
he
can have
animated the horse.
We can have our Jamie, our Tiger Thanos here look it up. Did James Baxter actually voice act the horse, and he also animated the horse as well?
Yeah, I just looked it up right now.
Oh wow, look at that, man! Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
If you want, we could also kind of just end it off with like a outro, so to speak. So, I mean, if you would like to, Jeremy.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Jeremy Freed, and I do voice acting and video and audio editing.
Alrighty, Mr. L.
I'm Mr. L. I do animation and design work.
Sky.
I'm Sky. I'm a storyboard artist, director, and brand development supervisor.
And Andrew.
I'm Andrew Bacone. I do storyboards, and yeah, I do storyboards.
Awesome. Real quick, before everybody departs, I do want to say that if you guys could say where we can find you guys, like any medias that you have, websites, YouTube channels, Instagram, Twitter, whichever.
Yep, I'm just Jeremy A. Freed, my name, on Twitter. I really haven't spread out anywhere else, so that's it.
Gotcha. Mr. L.
Yeah, I'm Mr. L, and my socials are I have a YouTube channel called Unlimited Vision. I have a Instagram account called Unlimited Vision Art, and a Twitter account that's also just called Unlimited Vision, aka @Vision9Vision. Each of these accounts have drawing of an eye for the profile image, so just let everyone know.
Sky.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter or at happy_1_year with 2 R's at the end.
Wonderful.
It was an inside joke.
And Andrew.
Yeah, you can find my socials. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter. My IG handle is warden.black, and my Twitter handle is my name, Andrew_Bacone.
Awesome. And then check out the weekly webcomic, is that right?
Oh, yes,
Think,
Mr. Els.
Yeah, I have a webcomic called Samantha Ben that I upload every Saturday on my Instagram and Twitter.
It's very good. Check it out.
I've also been uploading some of the older pages as YouTube shorts that I try to upload Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So for those who don't have Twitter and Instagram,
all of their medias, all the links to their medias will be in the description below. Thank you again for so much for listening, and I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Oh yeah, Super Bowl Sunday by the time we're recording this, so put out your predictions now when you hear it. I mean, well, actually, you already find out who wins. Let me know from the future, and take care, everybody.